Alright, this is the second take of the recording because I originally was going to split up this story into two parts, but I just decided to make it one just so it's less of a hassle. But it's been a while since I made a video. When I say a while, I mean it's been like 3 days, which isn't a lot, but you know, I'm trying to upload more consistently, so 3 days is kind of a lot. But let's start off where we left off last time. Where we left off last time is that, basically to sum up, the Ethernet on my computer suddenly stopped working. So I wanted to check if it was the port in the wall, or it was the cable, or my computer. It wasn't the port in the wall, it wasn't the cable, and I came to the conclusion that was my computer. Now, my roommate had a USB-C to Ethernet adapter. So because I thought that the port itself for the Ethernet was fried, I decided to test out the Ethernet to USB-C converter, and I plugged in my PC and Ethernet worked, right? It worked for a day, shut down. Then I was like, okay, Ethernet's not gonna work. Let's switch to Wi-Fi, because my card had 2 prongs on it, which can convert it so that my fucking PC can use Wi-Fi. Okay, so one of my friends down the hall, he happened to have a little Wi-Fi dongle, and so I plugged in my PC and boom, Wi-Fi works, right? And this Wi-Fi works for, again, 1 day and it shuts down, it stops working. So now I don't have Ethernet, I don't have Wi-Fi, no internet on my computer, and that's an issue because this is my main computer. So if I don't have internet, like, I can't do anything on it. So I'm like, at this point, I'm convinced that it's my motherboard that's fried. So I text my dad and let him know that I think my motherboard's fried, if I can buy another one, and also just buy a new case and a power supply. So the reason I have to buy a case and a power supply, well, the reason I wanted to is because my original case was a mini ITX build, and it's like the size of a lunchbox. It's really, really small. And I figured that the motherboard probably died because there was like 0 airflow in that thing. Like, I couldn't fit fans in there because it's too small. And so I wanted to get a new case to prevent that from happening, just so that my computer would last a while, right? And the power supply in that computer is really, really small. It's specialized just for that mini ITX build. So I needed to get a new power supply if I got a new case, and then a new motherboard. So it's like $500, kind of a lot. But the good thing about it is that I can reuse the parts of my old computer. So my GPU, CPU, and SSD. So that saves me a lot of money, right? So I basically ordered those parts at Amazon, came in 1 day, right? Amazon's great. And get to building. It takes me like 5 hours because I get this Lian Li case. It's super, super nice. Can I show you guys right now? Let's see. I can show you guys right now. Ugh. This is what it looks like right now. It's like a glass top. It's super sick. It looks like a fucking glass block in Minecraft. But there's the case, right? Okay, so I get this case, figuring out how it works, whatever, and get all the parts inside, build it, and I press the power button, okay? The lights flicker, nothing happens. I'm like, fuck, what'd I do, right? I'm like, check all the cables, they're all plugged in right. I'm like, okay, cool. And then for some reason, I lift up my computer and it just starts, like, it turns on, like the light stays on, and then it just started working. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. But I still don't know why that's the case, why it started working all of a sudden. But I'm not like really complaining. Like, if it works, right? And if it doesn't work, eventually I'll just have to figure out how to fix it again. Anyways, so I'm like, turn this computer on, right? My monitor turns on, and I'm like, please show the internet sign, Ethernet sign, please. Nothing. It still says no internet. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I spent all this time and money, and guess what? same issue. So at this point, I'm convinced like I have to do something really crazy to my computer, because at this point, I'm thinking it's like a software issue, right? Now, before this, I had tried literally everything to try to fix this internet. Reinstall drivers. I did like network troubleshooting on my computer. I did like all these like terminal commands and shit. I did like hard restart. I did a system recovery. So I reset my system to something in like somewhere in February. Nothing worked. I tried disabling my firewall in Bitdefender. Internet still broken. So I was reading like a ton of Reddit articles, ton of like Tom's Hardware, some Linus Tech Tips stuff. And I saw one where it said what worked for me was a clean install of Windows. So I'm able to find the setting on my computer where I was like, okay, do I need internet to like reinstall Windows? I actually didn't need internet. I was able to reinstall Windows on my computer and also keep all the files on it, which is good. Like, I don't mind that it's going to nuke all my apps. I can just re-download those apps as long as it keeps all my files, right? So I do this and I reinstall Windows completely, okay? Turn on my computer again and still no internet. So I'm like, oh my gosh. However, I do network troubleshooting and it says there's no internet network, it says there's no internet adapter. I'm like, oh, this is new. I didn't see this last time, right? Last time I did network troubleshooting, I didn't see anything. So seeing something is good because it means that there's an issue that I can fix. And so since it says no network adapter, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how to install the drivers for this computer. So the only way I can do that is by installing the drivers from a computer that has internet and then transfer it over to this one. So I could download the driver on my laptop and then switch it over here. But I didn't have any like flash drives. I didn't have any like converters because my laptop's USB-C. So in order to use a flash drive on my computer, I'd need a converter from USB-C to USB. And then also like I wanted to see if I could get like a Wi-Fi dongle just to check if that would work on my computer, like a USB like Wi-Fi dongle. So basically it was like 8:30 p.m. and I'm like, okay, Best Buy closes at 9. I have time to make it, right? I really want to get this issue fixed today. So I drive over to Best Buy, get there at 8:45, and there's this white lady, and I'm like, hey, do you think you can help me find these 3 things? And she's like, no. Haha, just kidding. I was like, bruh. It was kind of stupid. But anyways, she helps me find the 3 things. Check out, get out of there, right? So I come back, and the first thing I do is check the Wi-Fi dongle. So the Wi-Fi dongle, it has a driver on it in a USB. So I install that, and then I plug in the Wi-Fi dongle, and nothing happens. Now I'm like, okay, maybe I need to restart my computer, right? So I restart my computer, and boom, I have Wi-Fi. I'm like, okay, this is good because, well, my end goal is to get to Ethernet. The fact that I have Wi-Fi right now is already pretty good, right? But I want Ethernet. And I'm looking at my network, and then suddenly the Ethernet just starts working. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I unplugged the Wi-Fi adapter, and sure enough, my Ethernet just works now. And that's how it's been all night. My Ethernet's worked totally fine. So I think, so here's the reason why it worked. First of all, I think the hard reinstall of Windows 10 was the move, because there's something definitely corrupt on the system before that, which was preventing the internet from working on my computer. Probably the network adapter was corrupt or something, or so, I don't even know. But that helped for sure. The second thing is that when you do a hard reinstall, I'm pretty sure that the computer tries to download the drivers for Ethernet, but it needs some sort of internet. So after I got the Wi-Fi working, then it automatically downloaded the Ethernet drivers, because I actually checked the Ethernet driver in the device manager, and it said downloaded at 9:58 p.m., which is exactly when I did my restart. So which means that when the Wi-Fi started working, then it was able to download the driver for the Ethernet, and then the Ethernet was working. So yeah, so my internet finally works now. I guess lesson learned for next time in terms of these things. First of all, I was trying to figure out if it was like a hardware issue or a software issue, and because I concluded it wasn't a software issue, that's why I rebuilt my entire computer. But it ended up being a software issue in the first place. I just had to go to more extreme measures, which is kind of stupid. But I was actually considering almost switching on my CPU and or GPU, but now that I think about it, like, it doesn't really make sense because those components don't really affect the internet. So I knew it wasn't those. It definitely could have been a motherboard issue for sure, which is why, you know, me getting a new motherboard wasn't that dumb of an idea. But also, like, dude, Windows 10 is just a little janky right now, and I think part of the reason why is because it's not going to be supported soon, and because they want everyone to eventually switch over to Windows 11. So Windows 10 has some issues. But yeah, this was like probably the most frustrating thing that's ever happened to me in terms of my computer, because I literally could not find a fix until I did like a hard reinstall of Windows 10. And even then it wasn't working until I got the drivers installed, which required me to find a way to get internet on my computer. But yeah, thank goodness the situation's resolved and I have internet on my computer. And you know, eventually I was going to switch out that case anyways. This case is really nice, and it was on sale for like 120 bucks, which is actually really good. So I think like I can use this case for a while anyways, and the power supply too. So, and all the other parts are still my old parts, so I'm not like throwing money away. But yeah, that's the that's the story. Halfway through, I realized that I'd been playing music into my video the entire time, but that was like, you know, actually that's not too bad, you know, like I feel like having a little background music makes it a little more relaxing to listen to me perhaps. So yeah, I'll just leave it that way. I'll edit the halves together. But yeah, thank you for watching. This video is kind of long because it's a big bombshell of the story, and I'll keep you guys updated about my life. See ya.